Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This time I'm gonna check out the new thing by OpenAI. It's called GPT, and I was playing with it for a bit and I noticed that you can actually do quite a bit of cool coding with it. So I wanted to try how far it actually gets and how far we can go to get actually something working. So let's start. Today I want to create some sort of web server. So create a Ruby web server. Code sample. There we go. Then add an endpoint where I can upload a docx document and parse the document into headers and store them into a SQLite database. Now this in itself is quite amazing that you can see, hey, we have a system here that can just convert what you're typing into actual code. Now if you look at it, there's a server mount upload. If it's a post request and if it's a document, then parse the document. It seems to create the database in every request. That doesn't sound like a great idea. So let's ask him to do that, or to not do that. So move the creation of the database outside of the request handler. Now there you see that it actually created a method for it that would actually create a database. Let's see. Yes, yeah. So before actually starting the server, it will create the database. That sounds about right. Okay, and now it executes, and what does it insert? Only the headers. I also want the text below each header to be added to the database. Now, hopefully now it will somehow see if there's text behind it. So first it's text and content, yeah. Yeah, the headers database, which is now maybe not called properly, has a text and a content value, which is now taken from that. Let's see, the content is, yes, so it will try, so it's looking through the paragraphs. I didn't even know this was possible. So it will take the paragraph index of the header and it takes the paragraph under the header. Perfect. Let's rename the database to meeting notes, because I want to actually upload a document that has some meeting notes. Here you can see that it did rename the actual DB file, but it didn't rename the name of the database. Rename the name of the database from headers to meeting notes as well. Yeah, that seems a bit better. Okay, so now we have an upload point where actually the document gets sent. This seems to happen after a while. After this stuff is still in beta, so now it seems to stop. Maybe we've reached the maximum length of this document. I don't know exactly. Or I just need to look closely because I see a 2 out of 2 here also. Or maybe that's just because I retried it. Let's see how far it gets this time. Yeah, this seems to hit the maximum length of the current program it can process. Interestingly enough, you can see quite clearly how powerful this actually is, and even without trying it too much, you can see the potential. Instead of actually programming it, you're sort of working together with with the computer. At this point, I think you still need to program. Um, Maybe I can actually get it a little bit more succinct. Can you remove all code comments from the code? Yeah. Maybe now it will actually fit on the screen. Yes. And as you can see, it's actually not that big of a deal or when you remove all of the extra stuff that actually explains it. So, okay, from now on, don't use code comments. Yeah, I know. I would have expected just a simple yes or no here, actually, and not a completely renewal of the code, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, so what if we add another endpoint? So add another endpoint that shows all the meeting nodes in the database, the text and the content. Make it a list where the text links to another endpoint. Oh, endpoint to view the meeting node. Let's see if he actually can grasp this. So this is still the stuff that we had before. And now we're actually adding another meeting nodes endpoint where it's selecting everything. It's generating the HTML. It's doing an each there. It's making a link to a view endpoint, which it hadn't added actually. So also add the view meeting nodes endpoint now. There. And I think we've reached the limit again of what we can do. One of the other things I really like is that you can actually, oh, this is also interesting. Oh yeah, that's actually correct. So it's taking the header and then actually showing the paragraph. Yeah, kind of cool. So one of the other interesting things is you can actually ask it for advice. So for instance, if you want to create a specific data structure or you need help with an algorithm, there's a lot of stuff it can actually help you with. So I remember when I started working at my previous company, we struggled a lot creating a sort of robust recurrence algorithm. So create a data structure that allows for recurring events with exceptions and give me a sample of the code with examples with different encoded recurrence patterns. This is a great way in order to sort of learn how to program, to get unstuck. It will help you debug. It's quite amazing. So that was that for today. I just wanted to show that originally I intended maybe to run some stuff, but the problem is it seems to be capped at a certain amount of lines, which makes it a little bit tricky to actually get something running as soon as it gets interesting. But from first glance, if I look at the code, that was actually functional code. And the improvement of this version over the previously released GPT-3, where you can also sort of ask it to code, is quite immense. Okay, thank you. That's just what I wanted to show, and see you later.